Hey guys, and welcome back to Sorcery. Last time we got Flanker back, only to disobey him just a little bit, and now we're stuck in the disobeyingness that we have put ourselves into. I don't think any of those were words, but that doesn't really matter. Alright, so just to recap, we landed with a splash, and now we pass a heap of dark cloth. Well, if you know me and you know my spirit, the dolphin, who is very, very quick and carefree, happy to leap and skim his way through the world, brave but not rash, we are brave, and so we're going to just go ahead and investigate this. You creep over to the huddled rags, the shape of a man leant over, clutching his knees, but he does not seem to be moving. Let's go ahead and... Why would I run it through? That seems like such a rash thing to do. Let's touch it. It collapses at the slightest touch, and you breathe a sigh of relief. Just a pile of cloak, discarded by some previous unfortunate who traveled this way. Let's examine it. This could be magical. You sift through the heavy cloth. This was a fine cloak once, before it was left to rot down here. Stitch on the back is in number 1. In a circle. I wonder if this belongs to one of our friends with one of the lines around here. Ah, okay. So someone did tell me that if you have a mouse, which I now do, you can use the scroll to go in, which I am very thankful for because I was not able to do that before with my little mouse pad or whatever this thing is. So that's good. The sewer turns a corner here, with other tunnels blocked by filth-strewn wreckage. I'm just searching everything. You steel yourself and dig through the foul filth in the wreckage, trying not to vomit from the stench. Come across a small glass bottle. Uncork it. Hey, another blimberry. Speaking of blimberry, I think this would be a good time to go ahead and use one of our potions. There we go. Just 3, but it should also have given us a little bit of our hunger, sated a little bit of our hunger, which is good. You walk onwards through the dark sewer when suddenly the tunnel opens into a low chamber. Ooh, chamber. Stand ankle deep in the filth. Icy droplets fall from the ceiling. The smell is terrible. Ugh. This is not just any sewer. In the corner is a pile of rags. Someone or something lives down here. Interesting. Go ahead and search the rags. We're searching everything else, so... You dig into the rags and clothing. They must have formed someone's bedding, as they could never have been clothing. Strips and odd squares of cloth of all different kinds. They have probably been scavenged from what people threw down the drains of the sewers. Let's dig through more carefully. Ah, we got some gold. Oh, that's good, because we are extremely poor right now. Digging into some old pockets, you find a few gold pieces. Suddenly, you find yourself itching and scratching. The rags are covered in fleas, and now they are biting you as well. The thought occurs to you. Perhaps this is not the hiding place of a beggar, but the nest of some terrible beast? A sudden rush of water floods the chamber, soaking you up to the waist. A moment later is washed away once more. But there might be more coming. I don't think it's a beast. I think this is a home to that, the council member that's been turned into a beggar. But we'll go ahead and leave. You walk onwards through the sewer. Shadowy shapes loom out of the darkness, then disappear as you move close. Onwards. You walk for perhaps an hour, maybe more. The tunnel tilts lower and lower. Perhaps you are going underneath the river. The sound of fast rushing water fills the tunnel. I would like to cast a spell to make sure I'm going the right way. So, if I can remember... I'm pretty sure that was with an L, so I don't think I can. But I also have sus, which can set... Ooh, interesting. Can create light. Let's go ahead and sense danger. You cast the spell, and a calm voice enters your mind and begins to speak. It warns you in a quiet voice that the river has burst a dam up ahead, and the tunnel is filling with water as you speak. You will not be able to outrun it and you will not be able to hide. Great. It said, we're gonna go ahead and shelter in an alcove. You dive into an alcove in the side of the tunnel as the great wave pounds into the tunnel, but it fills the sewer completely, and you are quickly pulled from your hiding place as though 1,000 hands and submerged. The water wrenches you from the floor and throws you into a swirling spiral. You can see nothing but murk and the filth. At least, you think wryly, you are getting a wash. Swim for it. The impact is so sudden that you have no time to prepare. You only have a few moments of air left. Alright, we're going to swim against the current. Because if my water dynamics are right, the current is going one way and it'll fill up, but as it fills up that way that it's going, as it goes forward, it should level out. So if you go back, it should actually be like lower. So we're gonna swim against the current. Nope, that was not the right answer. The current is whipping you this way and that like a field bug in a thunderstorm. It is all you can do to work out which way is up and which way is down. You fight and struggle, losing valuable seconds of air. Alright, we're gonna swim up. I feel like I'm gonna die now. You swim up towards the roof of the sewer, hoping to find an air pocket to refresh your breath, but you are out of luck. Your head hits the arched stone ceiling, which is fully submerged. Even the ducts running up are filled with water. There's no air to be had down here. Cool, let's swim up a duct. Lungs bursting, you reach a duct in the ceiling. I see I lost stamina during all of that. Once inside, it wrenches you upwards with a powerful force. The stonework either side is a blur as you crash, scrape, and bang into the sides painfully. Then suddenly you are spat up into a wider, colder water, lit above by a silvery light. You are outside. Oh, look who's back in the river. No, my rations. No. Does that include my boomberry potions? Please tell me it doesn't. Okay, but my rations. Frick. Come up gasping for air about a quarter of the way across the river that flows through the middle of Khare. All around you is pitch darkness. You struggle and flail for a moment, but to get your head above the water, and then turn about to swim for the far bank. Of course, all your water damageable possessions have been ruined. Thankfully, however, the pages of your spellbook are protected, and your fleas are all washed away. Why would we dive under at this juncture? Whenever I'm given an odd choice like that, I'm tempted to go for it because that usually means there's something if you do that. Okay, that was a poor choice. You take a deep breath, checking slightly from the noxious odor of the filth-strewn jabaji, then dive under. Thick, foul, mucus-ridden water streams up your nostrils and you make slow progress. Okay, we're gonna go back up. And now we're on the far bank. Well, that's one way to cross the river. You look around in the darkness. The far bank is less populated than the near bank, and there are no inns, no market stalls, just a single path disappearing into darkness between large stone buildings. You are too tired from your swimming to walk on, so you crawl under a bush and make camp. You are exhausted and could do with something to eat. But there is nothing you can do. All of your food has been ruined by water. Or is there? There we go. Alright. I don't feel much better, but I feel a little bit better. Time to get some rest. You close your eyes and are quickly asleep. Your dreams are cluttered and crazy. Red eyes loom at you. You seem to be walking forward, traps springing at your feet. Why is Flanker stabbing me again? Interesting. Yeah. We've seen this before. I have you right where I want you. Yeah. Interesting. The next morning. Dawn comes, and you're awoken by the shimmering light across the surface of the Jabaji River. But the idyllic morning is quickly broken as the first of the boats begin to sail down the river, the sailors cursing and singing filthy songs that echo between the buildings on either side. You become accustomed to the terrible smell here. You follow the road away from the river towards a fork in the road. If there are any nobles still in the city port, their houses are more likely to be on this river. But which way? Alright, well, we know already that the fork in the road leads to the Red Eyes, which are north, and something which is south. Alright, apparently the fountain is some extra health. Oh, wow, that's a lot of extra health. Ooh, that was good. Alright, what were our hints? There they are. 4 levels of car. Okay. Theta's in the ruins. Shinva is dead and buried. Malice is a noble. Shrine of Slaying the god Korga. What is that? Where is Korga? So I don't feel like we need to go to where the Red Eyes are. I'm just gonna go to the Fallen Quarter, which is south. Turn right, heading away from the city wall. A sign points towards Fireview Square. You pass large houses. They have the aspect of official places of business. One is marked with the clawed fist of a moneylender. An elven woman is just leaving. She looks quite worn out already this early in the morning. You stop the woman with a gesture. She looks up at you with some surprise. You seem distraught. She looks at you, her narrow eyes wide. Oh, stranger, she moans. You have no idea. The moneylenders have not been generous, you suggest? The woman laughs. When are they generous? But today they have been cruel. She wipes her eyes with a ragged cuff. But no matter. I should not have expected any different. But what of you, stranger? You do not look like a Kharian to me. I'm a traveler, you say? Is that so? She replies. Then maybe... She wipes a tear from her eye. Maybe you'll need a guide. That would be useful. She smiles, the first true smile you have ever seen on her face. Very good, stranger. I will be happy to help you if I can, for a fee. Where do you want to go? I think we should try to find Korga, maybe. I need to find the guard Korga, you answer. She thinks for a moment, then nods. He has an old temple on the far side of the necropolis. I can take you there. She nods, clearly pleased. And how much do you charge? 4 gold pieces. It's too much. I mean, you already told me where it was, but I'm not going to be a jerk. And I also stole a lot of that. Tell me your name. You can call me Mish, she nods. Good to meet you, stranger. This way. She heads off along the street. Now we have a guide. The alley gets wider. I'm passing a long building on the left, which seems to be full of children. An orphanage, Mish tells you, full of ne'er-do-wells. On the step, a lanky man sits with his eyes firmly closed. Greet him. You go over to greet him, but the guide grabs your arm. Don't, she hisses. Just trust me. I don't want to see you get hurt. Alright. Fireview Square. You're back on the approach to Fireview Square. See that? Mish says, pointing to the monument at the center of the square with a curious gleam in her eye. That's one of the great treasures of Khare. If you step inside, you are granted a vision of the whole city from above, so that you can see where you need to go. Huh, that almost sounds like the mechanic in this game where you can just, see a whole map that seems to be from above, and, it seems a little suspicious. Once again, you stand in the plaza of the Red Eyes, the heart of this half of the city port. In all directions, roads lead off, some no doubt to the houses of nobles, and others directly into danger. On the other side of the square, the main road continues on through a low arch. 1,000 other alleyways lead off in all directions into Upper Khare. Let's go ahead and lead on. You gesture for your guide to lead the way. Through here, she says, waving towards the arch at the far side of the square. Are you sure? You are surprised by the direction? The woman smiles. Of course I'm sure. Do you want to find Khorga's temple or don't you? I paid her 4 gold, and she's poor. I believe that she will lead me as she said. You follow Mish between the narrow buildings until you reach a fork. To the left, a road continues towards some kind of bustling market, while to the right it leads down a shorter street. In the center of the fork is a great bronze statue with some kind of pot at its feet. Oh my, Mish breathes. Look how much gold there is. She steps towards the statue. Ask my guide to leave on. I don't want her to get tempted by this. Let's go, you say, waving to Mish to start walking. Of course, she says, but you can see she's looking at the base of the statue, where a pot sits containing several gold pieces. She begins to head down the road to the right. This way, to the god's temple. Let's go ahead and follow her. You follow her, but then, at the last possible moment, she dives to one side and grabs an armful of gold from the bowl by the statue's foot. That will teach those moneylenders not to pay out, she cries, stuffing nearly 20 gold pieces into her pocket. From somewhere behind her, there is a noise like thunder, of something moving into life. Put the money back. You cry, it's a trap. She stares at you like you are mad, then laughs. Of course it's a trap, she cries. Why do you think I led you here? With that, she sticks a single gold piece into your money pouch. The statue counts for the last person to thieve, she breathes. Good luck. You'll need it. She races away, but turns into the mouth of an alleyway to shout something. Listen. It's got a weak spot on one of the legs, she calls back. And to find the god's temple, you'll need to go through the necropolis to the ziggurat. You'll have to start with the left eye. Then she rushes away. You don't have time to be angry. Looking up, you see the statue's right arm sweeping down towards you. Let's leap back. You leap backwards, narrowly avoiding being hit. Picking yourself up quickly, you see the bronze giant has leapt from its pedestal and is advancing towards you. Give back the gold piece. Great, you will have to fight. What just happened? I'm confused. I feel like I just got more stamina, but maybe I just haven't been paying enough attention. You rush forward, dodging the statue's stamping foot, but when your blow lands on the metal, it only sends a painful shockwave up your arm and does no damage to the creature at all. The statue is leaning back for another swipe at you. You'll have to find this thing's weak spot if it has one, or else you don't have the chance. In the milliseconds available, you scour the creature for scratches, blemishes, anything that might suggest a chink in its armoring. It said the right leg, right? Oh, just on one of the legs. Thanks. Great. Left leg. You race forward towards the creature's left leg and spy a small metal plate. Twisting your sword around in your hand, you drive it through the crack and begin to lever the panel open. The giant flails this way and that, trying to shake you loose, but you are determined, and finally the plate flies open. A blast of hot gas ejects from the statue. It sways and then topples face down in the street. I'm alive! You gasp with relief and take a moment to recover your breath. You have survived, but your elven guide has disappeared with all the statue's money. Well, that was great. Okay, well, I guess we continue on. You follow the road to a wide open space. Where'd all my gold go? Did I throw it all? Follow the road to a wide open space laid out for a market. There are several stalls all selling the same goods. Who is the cheapest and best quality? Those provisions, gear, magic items. I have no freaking money. Ugh. Beyond the market is a street of tall, iron-fenced houses. You are entering a rich district built in relative safety close to the wall, on the higher point of the land in the city. Few creatures live here, and it would seem that beggars are not tolerated. The streets are empty and, for the first time, clean. You pass a well with a pulley attachment built above it, but no rope. All gone. As you pass the well, you catch a brief snippet of song drifting up the well shaft, but you cannot quite make out the words. That would be the goblins. And I do not need to deal with them right now. You have reached a wide, desolate area, fenced off by an overgrown iron railing. Inside, tall yew trees reach up to twice the height of the city wall beyond. This is the necropolis, the city of the dead for those who pass away in Khare with enough money to ensure their bodies are not simply tossed into the water. The road to the north gate passes straight through and offers no way around. The main path is wide enough for processions and carts. Leading off it are several smaller paths that wind between the trees and headstones to all the different suburbs of the graveyard. There are plenty of places for things to hide here. Well, not really much of a choice. After the hubbub of Upper Khare, the necropolis has a silence which is almost deafening. Look around. Either side, listing gravestones crawl with small creatures. No flowers grow here. It is like the bodies give off poison as they rot. Everything here is dead, and yet this place is neither empty nor still. Ugh. The wind whistles between the tall trees. The sun is setting behind the wall. The ground. You step nervously off the path and walk between the nearest tombs. Some are ancient, headstones tilted to crazy angles, and some of them fallen face down, as though the citizens of this graveyard might have been drinking since they died. Others are fresh, neatly carved and clean of all moss and weeds. They sparkle in the moonlight, as though cleaned by maids and waiting for their occupants to arrive. Alright, so our choices are explore the newer tombs, explore the older tombs, or leave the graveyard. So the question is, how recently did he die? I'd assume recently. So we'll go ahead and explore the recent ones. There are several tombs here. There must have been a recent plague on the rich in the city. They are scattered around in roughly alphabetical groups. Shinva, alphabet, this. There we go. You look from one headstone to another. A few catch your eye, though you cannot immediately say why. Shinva's mausoleum. You approach Shinva's mausoleum. Carved above its doors, here lies Lord Shinva, 5th noble of Khare. Your heart hammers. Is this the undead noble you were warned you would need to find? Shinva's mausoleum. Oh boy. The door to Shinva's mausoleum seems to be unlocked, and is a crack ajar, as though someone regularly came and went. Just in front of it is a little ring of mushrooms growing up against the front step of the mausoleum. Look at the ring. You crouch down to look at the mushrooms. They look highly poisonous, not least because you can see a single insect crawling around or under any of them. Unusually, the ring itself is also particularly circular in shape. In its center, something silver glints, a stake pushed into the soft soil. Let's not do that. Alright. Let's go ahead and jump over the ring. You take a run jump and jump clear over the circle of mushrooms, landing on the step. You take a run jump and jump clear over the circle of mushrooms, landing on the step of the mausoleum. The air inside is freezing. Dust coats the floor, urns line the walls, but there's no coffin. The floor space is empty except for in the far corner where a narrow stone staircase leads down into darkness. Do I have anything that can help me? Anything at all? This is... Oh yeah, summoning darkness. That seems like a good way to help me in this situation. What exactly would I make depressed here? That might be... Vault might be a good idea just to get through. Alright. And what was F? Oh yeah, fog. We're gonna go ahead and use fall. Just to stay away from there. You cast the spell, reducing your body weight to that of a feather. Hopefully that should prevent you from walking on any more traps. Skulls peer at you from the walls. Let's go down the stairs. Unafraid of what you might find below, you make your way down the stairs. But the light from the doorway does not go far. Halfway down, the dark is absolute once more. In the dark. Menacing sounds echo up from the depths of the crypt. The clanking of chains, the moaning of wind. It is as though a tortured soul paces the flagstones of this place. I don't think I really have much to do here. Yeah, I really don't. Wind. How is probably good. You cast the spell and wait for a sense of how to proceed. A voice enters your mind telling you there's no hope for you in the darkness below. Something reaches out and touches your neck with an ice-cold grip that tightens and tightens. Let's try to fight. Great. Well, that's bad. You grapple for whoever is holding you, but either they are made of air or they dance around you, escaping your arms. Either way, you cannot reach them. You begin to choke. Let's go ahead and scream. No air in your lungs. Oh, we're dead again. Cool. Let's go ahead and rewind. Let us cast a spell. Did it say we could use sap? No. I wonder what you're supposed to do here. Ah, a force field might be helpful. You cast the spell, binding a force field around your body, but the chill wind of the crypt seems to reach through it. As if it were not something in this world. Great. Run. Pray. Great. Well, this is not going well. How are we supposed to deal with this? I just don't know how to deal with this. What is this even gonna do? You cast the spell, causing the only creature within sight to lose its will and vitality. You! The gloom of the mausoleum becomes overpowering, and you can hardly lift your head to look around. You might as well sink into the dirt right now or rot standing up. At least you have a decent tomb, much better than if you die out in the backlands. It's you are likely to do. Yeah, well, that didn't go well. What are we supposed to do here? I'd be really mad if this is something that can... Ah, maybe this will help. You cast a spell, casting a vein of magical protection around yourself. Okay, let's try this. Unafraid. But you must have stepped on some kind of switch. You hear a noise. Okay, hold on. So we have to do one more. Okay, so we have to not only cast Mage, but we have to be floating. Okay. So we've got this. And then we've got Mage. Good. Okay, now let's try. Go down the stairs. In the dark. Let's go ahead and freeze. Nah, it still can touch my neck. What am I supposed to do here? Is this even possible to win? Oxfield Tamarin, Shinva, mushrooms. Can I cast a spell to get that silver thing out of the mushrooms? Why would I be big? That doesn't seem helpful. There's gotta be some way. What would I read the minds of? Yeah. I think I have to take the silver stake. You reached out over to pull out the silver stake, but you cannot reach it without stepping inside the mushroom ring. This is probably gonna be death too. Yeah, falling, and now we're gonna be in the sewers again. Did I get the silver stake though? A fate worse than death. Did I at least get the silver stake? Something is coming. Duck to avoid it. Okay, hold on. Okay, I didn't even get the silver stake from that. Okay, well, I know where I am. And at least I've escaped. But I don't think that we are. Yes. I am at a loss. An absolute loss on what to do here. It's possible that I don't have what I need to do this, because I just don't see a way of dealing with the Wraith. And that stake is the only thing I feel that might be able to help me out. So maybe cool. You step into the circle of mushrooms to take the stake, confident your spell magical protection will keep you safe. Sure enough, you feel no ill effects of any kind, or perhaps they were just mushrooms all along. That they were not. You draw the stake out of the ground. It is a short sword made, it would appear, of pure silver. Okay, Cool. Now maybe let's go and try to fight him. Okay. So then we're gonna cast Fall to make sure that we don't trigger that trap. And then Madge didn't seem to do anything, so we're just gonna keep on going. And let's hope that our sword works. Okay. Now we're gonna freeze. There it is, fight. Ugh. This again. How? I don't understand. Okay. Let's pray here. I guess I can only pray for healing. Ugh. Cast a spell. Still don't have a sun jewel. Maybe that's how you deal with this, is you create sunlight and then they're forced to... Let's try chucking a fireball. Nope. You cast the spell, creating a blazing ball of flame that for a moment fills the stairway with light and reveals a ghastly shape hovering in the air just in front of your... Great. Run. Nope, we're dead again. Okay, what? I don't understand. Well... Okay. I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. I'm just completely and utterly stuck. I will have to ask someone for help because I just don't understand how to get through this without dying. And it might be that to do this you need to go back and buy a magic item or something, and then the magic item allows you to cast light, and then that allows you to get through here unscathed, or, you know, something of that nature. But for now, I just don't know how to proceed, and this is obviously necessary. We also had a few losses with, like, the peasant person. I now see that it would be better to just steal from the statue myself and then take it out myself by hitting the left leg and get those 20 gold pieces, which I can then use to, like, buy stuff that I would need, including the item that would allow me to actually deal with this thing. And, yeah, so a lot has happened this episode, but unfortunately we are stuck. If you want to see me get unstuck from this situation, go ahead and subscribe. There's a new video every other day. If you like this video, despite the dark place that we have ended of perpetual death, then go ahead and leave a like. And go ahead and comment any way that you could think of how to get out of this scenario that we are in, because I am just at a loss right now. So anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope that you soar high and enjoy your ride of life. Bye!